Good morning. I'm using the wrong video camera. Let me trade it out. Let's see. Is that the right one? Oh, I know what I did. I slid this over. That's why. Is that better? All right, that should work. Maybe a little too low. Here we are. Let me go post our link over onto the website denverguitarorchestra.com. Today is Friday, and that means it's play everything from the weekday, and it's always very exciting. So let me stick the link on here real quick. I have to put my phone down. It's always this moment in the day when you're like, oh, thank goodness, I don't have to deal with that anymore. Edit, open a new window, update, and update. Alright, so we should be in good shape with the link on the page. Let me check. denverguitarorchestra.com. That's where you pick up the sheet music for our weekly events and so on. Click here, and it says we are doing lesson 304 today, which we are. All right, today we'll be playing Three Blind Mice, Contentment from our classical series, Streets of Laredo, This Little Light of Mine, Trumpet, Voluntary, and then hopefully some parts of Book 2, Simple Gifts, Skip to My Loo, and The More We Get Together. So that's where our plan is. Let me go put this up on Twitter, https: denverguitarorchestra.com, and there's that. And let me see if I can get the logo posted along with it. Gary Guitar logo tweet, and we have officially tweeted now. And then nice. All right, so there's that. I'm gonna click that out of the way. Yeah, today we have a lovely group of songs to play. So we're not going to play the Segovia patterns on concerts anymore on Fridays. Well, everything's changing next week anyway, so we will probably only play the Segovia patterns once a week, and you'll be working on playing them on your own each week instead. And let's see, I think that's... Let's see if this is connected. There, that connected. And I need a guitar. Let's use this one today. And this one's been giving me a fuss with this suction cup. I got new suction cups, but that requires you to put them on, you know. Just a hint sharp. All right, close enough. Let's see. Is it 10:08? I got in late today because I was busy getting next week's stuff ready. Elizabeth made it in. Good morning. Good sound and audio and video. She says I'm doing okay. Good morning, Elizabeth. Elizabeth is here in Colorado. We're overcast here in Denver. It's supposed to be a pretty warm day though. So. Good morning, Pauline. Sunny but cold and windy up in the Bay Area, and so that's always iffy. As always, if you are logged in to either Gmail or YouTube, you can use the chat bar. If you're not, that's cool too. Let's go ahead and start playing, and then before we get to the end of the day, I want to talk about how I envision next week going and what I suspect will probably happen. But let's just start with, let's finish up book one, right? Book one, Three Blind Mice. Let's play it all three ways. Let's play the with chords. You should start on melody. I will start on chords. Then we'll switch, and then we will play tough acts together. So I will start on chords. You will start on melody. 1, 2, 3, 4. O, 2, O. O, 2, O. 3, 1, 1, O. 3, 1, 1, O. 3, 3, 3, 2, O, 2, 3, 3, 3, 3, 3, 3, 3, 2, O, 2, 3, 3, 3, 3, 3, 3, 3, 2, O, 2, 3, 3, 3, 3, O, 2, jumped ahead. All right, so there's your melody and my chords. We should sound pretty good together. Now I will play the melody and you play 4 beats of G on each measure. 1, 2, 3, 4. Beautiful. Probably a last strum on beat 1 of measure invisible, right? The 13th invisible measure. Let's play the tough acts. All week long we've been working on this. Remember, plant, middle, and ring. 1, 2, ready, play. As you're finishing up book 1, or if you're teaching somebody who's finishing up book 1, I don't care if they can play the tough acts. Couldn't care less. I want them to know what it is. I want them to try, but I don't necessarily think that that particular tune there is. In fact, Elizabeth and I were talking about it last week. That's a really hard song, and from a tough acts perspective, and so that's not really the point. The point is, hey, do I know I'm supposed to plant this, and can I sort of get some of the melody out? That in and of itself is plenty. Because book 2, that's where we dive into. Book 2 is where tough acts gets very serious, and we really dig into that quite a lot. Finally, in book 1, most of you guys don't have the book 1, but some of you do. There is a page 18 and 19, which I don't post on the internet on purpose, which talks about composing. And you have 4 chords in book 1, so let's revisit them very quickly. You have an E chord. You have your A chord. You have your D chord. I almost played it wrong. And you have your G chord. Okay. Somewhere in your head, you need to file away the phrase ADE. So think of lemonade, ADE. And those 3 letters, A, D, and E, they go together. So if you do A, 2, 3, and then you go to D, and then you go to E, and then you go back to A. Do it again. 3, 4. A, D, and then E, and back to A. Okay, so A, D, E, lemonade. A, D, E, A, and you write in that. You are now officially know everything that Bob Dylan knows when he's writing music. He keeps it simple, keeps it straightforward, doesn't make it super fancy if necessary, if he can. And you only need those 3 chords on guitar to write a lot of music. When you go on to most folk music is really built around a 3-chord pattern, not all of it, but a whole bunch of it. And frankly, when you get into book 2, we don't even use the 3rd chord, right? We just use A, E, right? And because in book 2, our job is to learn to switch chords and play tough acts. The other pattern is DGA, and I used to have a cute little saying for that, DGA. Degas. Oh, I know what it is. Think of the painter Degas, who painted the ballerinas in the back room getting ready to go out on stage. Degas, DGA. Those also go together, and they sound very cowboy. Let's do the 4 beats of each. 1, 2, play the D. 1, 2, 3, and then to G, and then to A, and finish on D. One more time. D, G, A, D. Okay. So those are the 2 patterns that I recommend you use when writing your first 2 songs. Song number 1, Aid, Lemonade. And that's your first song. And then your second song will be Degas. Bill, and it's not unimportant. Okay, Bach, Beethoven, Mozart, Chopin, Rachmaninoff, they all built their writing off of the simple fact in music that these chord patterns go together mathematically in our heads, and on virtually all of Western music, not every last bit of it, but 99% of music written in Western society is built off the mathematical relationship of that chord setup. And so you have, so it's not unimportant what we're dealing with there chord-wise. Okay, so that would be the end of Book 1. Book 1, the official version also includes the song All Through the Night, which you guys know is a level 3 song. The reason I included it in Book 1 is it uses only the 4 chords that we've already learned, and then of course it has a more complicated melody and a really several pieces of technique that need to be played to pull off that song successfully. But it is a stretch piece. If you have a student or if you are doing well in Book 1, go give All Through the Night a shot, and you'll see you can play it. It's very exciting. All right, so there's the end of Book 1. Starting next week, we start over with the beginning of Book 1. And so if you know somebody who wants to start learning to play guitar, say, hey, come sit in on our Wednesday night sessions, and download download Brother John for you guys, and then we'll get started teaching them how to play. All right, let's go grab our classical song for the week. It's called Contentment. And storage, download, Metro, Contentment. And let's see if we're ready to wrap this one up. This piece, while most of the chord shapes are fairly helpful, but not necessarily every one. Like, I think right off the bat, I'm thinking, I don't know if I even need that A chord if I'm going to play a 4 and a 0 and a 4 and a 0. Let's give it a try one time through, not very fast. 1, 2, 3, 4. Vermont at the end. That little moment there in measure 7 and 8, counting that out correctly, just make sure that the last note of measure 7 has 2 beats and the first note of measure 8 has 2 beats. Other than that, it's basically 1 note per beat. Let's try it one more time from the top. 1, 2, 3, 4. last note. Missed the last chord. Bum, there's that. The more you play that song, the less the more it starts to make sense. There is absolutely one note that's wrong, but I will call Sean Bell one of these days and say, can we change that one note? And he'll be like, no, I meant that note. And then I'll be like, okay, fine. So there we go. Next, that's a pretty decent little tune. Next week, our song of the week, and I'll try to get it posted this afternoon, is one from the 16th century. So it'll be fun to work on that one, comparing it to a modern piece versus an older piece. All right, there's that. Contentment. I was looking through the list of classical songs, and we're already getting a pretty decent repertoire, so make sure you're taking a moment to just play through them once in a while. And I'm recommending that every now and then you probably once a week, take a video of yourself. Don't look at the video, just play a song into a video and then hide the video in a folder somewhere on your computer. That way you will have a progress. At some point you'll be able to go through and say, hey, look how terrible I was in the beginning and look how awesome I am now. And then you can start a blog. How I played 6 months ago versus how I play today. Let's go grab Streets of Laredo. And why is it not there? Streets of Laredo must have been in a book. That's why. Streets of Laredo, book 3, apparently. Book 3. Oh, yeah. There it is. Okay. Remember, walking bass line. Try to get your thumb in there where you're supposed to. On book 3, generally speaking, guys, going forward, I will probably play tough acts, but if you're not in a tough acts mood when we're playing, it's perfectly fine to play the melody or the chords, right? And so, while obviously your goal is to be able to play in all of the ways, at any given day you may want to be focused on one way or another, especially when you get to level 3 and level 4. You may not want to play tough acts all the time. Probably you will, but who knows. From the top, 2-beat count in. Let's play it 3 times through. 1, 2. Times. Last time through. Second ending. Isn't that a nice little tune? Really, really pretty. Probably originally a Scottish tune, probably. And then when it came to the United States, they changed the words, and now it's a cowboy song. So yeah, a peaceful little thing. And if you read the words, it's actually a silly song, but it's okay. All right, let's go grab This Little Light of Mine, and that's not in the original book, so I will go grab it out of my downloads. Guitar. Remember, on This Little Light of Mine, I gave you the jazzier version than I learned as a kid. So hopefully it sounds cool in your ear, and maybe a little different than you might have learned it at growing up. From the top, G, A minor, C's. I think that, and there's that B chord up there, right? Remember, we got that crazy B chord to squish in there. All right, from the top. Let's do it twice through and see how we're doing. And we might end up doing it a third time through. Let's do it at least 2 times through. 1, 2, 3, 4. One more time. Let me clean up some mess I made. Let's finish up. Isn't that pretty? That's a nice tune. You don't have to play that one fast. Right? A little bit jazzier version. Pretty nice. I like it. All right, there's this little light of mine. And then finally from yesterday, Trumpet Voluntary. That was hopefully hopefully you've heard the song before, but if you haven't, right, you haven't, and because nobody plays it anymore for the most part. That used to be a popular wedding song, and of course now they play 500 Miles from the Lumineers. All right, Trumpet Voluntary, D chord, A chord, and E7, if I remember right. Is there anything on page 2? Yeah, it's just 3-chord song. And again, right back to the end lesson at the end of book 1. If you've got A, D, and E, look what song you got here. You got Trumpet Voluntary. Just those 3 chords, nothing else. See? Brilliant. All right. We play this one down through, all the way down. Not unlike what I did yesterday. We're going to play all the way down through 16. Then we're going to come back and we're going to play down 1, 2 through 8. Then we jump from 17 to the bottom. And then we come back to the top and we play 1 through 8 again. Okay, so just don't listen to Gary today and let play all the way down to 16 the first time through. I think we'll do best. From the top, 1, 2, 3, 4. Top. 17. Top. What do you think? It's not terrible. How are we playing today? Everybody's being suspiciously quiet. All right. Well, probably because you got a guitar in your lap, right? All right. Hey, I want to try to knock out a couple of the book 2 songs here, so we just have them done, and we'll start next week clean and fresh and pretty. So go grab Simple Gifts for me. All right. This is a one-shot, best shot kind of deal, and you guys know already this is one of these songs I just adore. 2 chords, great melody, funny history, and a lot of fun to play. So let's give it a try. From the top, we can do a 3-beat count in, and then we'll go 1, 2, 3. Okay, squeezed in my harmonics. Probably came in just a smidge too fast. Let that one be. Okay, let that last chord ring just a second, and then go grab that harmonic. So maybe that harmonic would even be best as first beat of measure 17 type thing. All right, and you'll work on your harmonics. It is going to come up. It was interesting. Yesterday we had the discussion about this, and yesterday Donna was looking for a place for us down in Santa Fe to spend our anniversary in August, and one of the, they have a lot of guitar music on these bed and breakfast websites, and one of the websites, this great guitarist, was just playing this whatever melody it was, but every fourth note had that tremolo effect in it, and I was like, well, I'm glad we talked about it, and I'm glad I said it was super hard, because here it is, some guy just completely playing it with no problems whatsoever. So yeah, he or she was a very fine guitar player. Skip to My Loo. We are going to play chords only. Okay, we're going to play it through 3 times. All right, and your goal is F chord, C7. Right. Okay, 3 times through. See if I can remember the words to it. I lost my partner. Okay, 1, 2, a little bit faster. 1, 2, 3, 4. Fly in the buttermilk, shoe, fly, shoe. Fly in the buttermilk, shoe, fly, shoe. Fly in the buttermilk, shoe, fly, shoe. Skip to my loo, my darling. I lost my partner. Partner, oh, what'll I do? I lost my partner, oh, what'll I do? Skip to my loo, my darling. I'll get another one prettier than you. I'll get another one prettier than you. I'll get another one prettier than you. Skip to my loo, my darling. One more time. So many verses, but this'll have to do. So many verses, but this'll have to do. So many verses, but this'll have to do. Skip to my loo, my darling. Okay. And again, the purpose of that song is to introduce you or your students to F chord and C7. That's it. The song itself is goofy as all get out, but it does get that really, really hardest thing taken care of right off the bat. And there's that. Donna's lurking around outside there. She's getting ready to bake something. I think her recipe books are right over there. So that's always a positive sign when she's standing there, because that means food is going to be produced. All right, last song. And then I do want to take just a moment to talk about next week. So let's take a look at The More We Get Together. Let's play it 2 times through. That'll be plenty. 1, 2. So, we got everything done for the week. Pushed a little bit, but we're there. Let's talk next week. So next week, the daytime, this 10-hour clock hour class will go away, and I'm very, very concerned about that. But changes happen, and we're all going to be fine. We're all going to keep playing guitar. We're going to get better. You are playing guitar the hardest possible way, which in truth, most guitar players learn some chords. They sing a few songs. They do that for about 6 months, and then they quit guitar, and everybody's happy. But what I want you to be able to do is I want you to be able to do that. I want you to be able to sing and strum when it's time. I want you to be able to play straight line melody, especially when you have a chance to play duets with people or join an orchestra and all this stuff. I want you to be able to play that in your sleep. And then I want you to be able to combine those 2 ideas, putting the chords and melody together. So that at the end of the day, which is of course super complex, and sometimes I want you to play with your thumb, and sometimes I want you to play with your claw, and sometimes I want you to do all sorts of fancy stuff with your right hand. All of that stuff is just this big toolbox of craziness that goes into playing guitar, and if you can fall in love with it just a little bit, that process of never quite being there but always working toward it, I think that you'll have a very lovely lifetime in guitar, and your guitar won't end up under the bed. That's where so many guitars are at right now, because people either get bored with learning to play one way, or they just don't continue to show up. They don't continue to pull it out on a regular basis, and all of a sudden the guitar gets put away. And so in that thought, next week what I'm going to do, I'm going to post all of the songs that we're going to work on Wednesday night, and they're already posted, okay, with the exception of the classical song. And I'm going to get that done this afternoon, theoretically. Okay, so that next week we'll have the whole week in advance, so that on Monday, if you have a time that works for you, sit down and play through the song set for Monday. Now the hardest part will be for brand new students. They don't really know how to play Brother John. I am going to work on putting up standalone videos that are just there to get people started. I may or may not get it done for next week, but I'm going to try, so that there's a standalone video for Brother John, a standalone video for This Old Man, and so on. What I did is I guessed on next Wednesday night that we will be able to play through the Segovia Patterns, measures 1, 2, and 3 as our warm-up. Then we will talk about Brother John and play it. Then we will play This Old Man, Tom Dooley, and Wheels on the Bus. You know, those are all three pretty iffy songs. Nothing like starting off strong. And then we will also play Waltzing Matilda, Water is Wide, which is a new arrangement on guitar. Just now posted it, so look through that pretty carefully. And then, of course, When the Saints Go Marching In. So we'll be wrapping up Book 3, basically, for we're down to the W's for both the Book 2 and Book 3. And then we will also have a classical song of the week. Now, to fit all of that in on a Wednesday night, I don't know. We'll see if I've been overly ambitious about squishing it all in to a one. You know, we may run over the full hour the first time, but I'm going to try to be very focused. I'm going to try to start right at 7 o'clock on Wednesdays, and I'm going to try to talk less and play more, so that's the plan. So I put that up as a Monday and Tuesday and Wednesday daytime workout. If you have your time slot, just keep that time slot sacred, play through those songs. Obviously be in communication with me if you run into a question or you think, I don't know about this note, or I don't understand this technique, or whatever. Guitar players will be first to be responded to on email if you have simple questions. When you have complex, hard to do questions, that sometimes I do read them, sometimes I don't have a chance to get back to you. But so you basically have the entire week's worth of songs ready to go. Then on Wednesday night, 7 p.m., we'll play through everything. We'll see how it goes. We'll see how much time we have to get to everything. We'll find out if I was overly ambitious or underly ambitious, and we'll play through that. And that will help me determine for the following weeks how much to put onto our to-do list. And so Thursdays, Fridays, so then I would post the following week's playlist on, and then you'd have Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday to work on it. And that way, by the time we get to Wednesday night, you might be an expert on those songs and be able to play it way better than I can play it. So that's my thought. That's the plan. That's what I think is going to happen. And we will see. We will see how that goes next week. And again, no reason for you not to keep this time slot sacred, or a time slot sacred during the day, to play through your repertoire. And then on Wednesday nights we'll get together as a group and talk about what's going well and what's not going well. So once a week ensemble, and then plenty of on your own time. And obviously don't be shy about sending me a note. And if we need to get together on Zoom or whatever, we can absolutely do that. Elizabeth says, I don't like F to C7. I agree, Elizabeth. That is the worst. It's the worst. Yeah, how guitar came to be arranged with the particular tuning that they have settled in on for standard tuning is a torrid history of not thinking things through. We absolutely should tune guitar up another step, which all guitars could handle quite readily, and then you wouldn't be in this mess over what will amount to key of C chords. Yeah, it's so crazy that that's what they chose to do with standard tuning. But it is what it is. We're stuck with it now. And yeah, F to C7. I think the big thing with that, you know how the song goes. Don't forget the sheet music. Just listen to it and just really stay your eyeballs focused in on your fingers, and then obviously slow it down. But yeah, I agree. F to C7 is a nightmare for all guitarists, I think. I think everything will work out with the schedule. Yeah, we'll try. We'll try next week's schedule. We'll see how it goes. Maybe it will be great. Maybe it'll be terrible. We don't know. We'll find out. Great. Looking forward to the changes. Have a great weekend. Thanks, Nancy. Good to see you. Elizabeth, good to see you. And Pauline. I'm still adjusting to the the new schedule, so if I miss some classes, I hope you understand. I will understand. I get it, right? Anytime there's a schedule change or a location change in all of my programs, there's always some chaos, and some people end up sort of not finding out it just doesn't fit in their system anymore, and other people will pick up and say, yep, this is what I want to do. So hopefully the new schedule won't send you into a total tailspin, but you always will have the archives there, and so you can always go through and catch up with us that way. So if attending live doesn't work, I know that afternoon time slot gets right into people's dinner hours on the West Coast and all that stuff. So yeah, so I know it may or may not work out for everybody, but that's at least for the summer, that's what we're going to try, and then we'll see how it's working when we get closer to the fall and I actually have to go. I actually have a real schedule that I need to follow. So there we are. Have a wonderful week. We played some really nice music today. Hopefully you felt like you were playing well. Hopefully you feel like you're getting somewhere. Not on F and C7. That's a terrible tragedy. But the other songs, hopefully you felt like, hey, I'm able to play some part of this or all of it, or in a style that makes sense to me, and hopefully you're playing better than you were 6 months ago, and if you keep showing up 6 months from now, just imagine where you might be. So there we go. Have a wonderful week, you guys, and weekend, and I'll see you Tuesday night for Beatles and Wednesday nights for books 1, 2, 3 and classical, and we'll go from there. So hit the thumbs up if you're logged in, please, and I will see all of you guys next week. Peace.